Morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, January the 9th. It's already the 9th of January. Wanted to do this video in response to my reaction to Oprah Winfrey's Golden Globe Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Achievement Award speech. Saw the award show, was watching a little bit of it with my wife. Watched Oprah receive her award. Wanted to see the speech in full. Think about it before I posted a response, because I know it's got a lot of people excited or up in arms or offended or enthusiastic or whatever you are. Watching the speech, if you didn't watch the speech, Oprah Winfrey, she receives the award. First of all, the Golden Globes, everybody had this blackout. Everybody in Hollywood wore black in protest to all of the sexual molestation and harassment that had been going on in Hollywood. It was their way of protesting it. Which is cool if it's genuine. Oprah makes a speech. She talks about witnessing Sidney Poitier when she was a little girl. Talks about historical molestation cases, rape cases. And she champions the cause. She says no more. We've been at the hands of powerful men in Hollywood, but no more, throughout society, but no more. And then we're going to champion this cause, and we as women and a few men are going to rise up and end this society of sexual molestation and men just overpowering, taking advantage of women. And it's all good to champion a cause. I'm all for championing a cause. But one of the things that stood out to me first about this speech was the fact that many times when someone champions our cause, any cause, it's generally someone who is so far removed from the cause they can't even relate. It's generally someone who is basically sent to tell you what you need to hear to get you to diffuse or to settle down or to not rise up or to just keep you under control. And Oprah Winfrey is one who, in championing this cause, took a very convenient time to champion the cause of sexual molestation, a predatory environment, or rape culture, as it's being said. As somebody who has been one of the most powerful people, women in the world, women in Hollywood, women in the United States of America, it was a very convenient time for her to do that. She is a woman who has had the careers and futures of other women in her hands, had the ability to help them, had the ability to sink them, had the ability to do a lot. And as someone as influential as she is, who has the ability to sit down and talk to people, I find it hard to believe that over the years she has not had many young women of all races and ages that have fled to her for refuge from what has gone on in Hollywood, and we've heard nothing from her. You can't tell me that young girls have not fled to Oprah Winfrey, who have cried out to her, help me. You're powerful enough that you can help me. And she's done nothing. There have been many pictures and stories of Oprah Winfrey introducing young girls to people like Harvey Weinstein, introducing young wannabe actresses to these powerful men, and thus supplying them with young girls to do whatever they want to do to them. And so it's interesting to see her championing the cause for the culture when many believe that she helped contribute to the culture. This powerful woman whom holds much prestige and holds a lot of titles and a lot of power in Hollywood. And for her to just now be saying something about that, and she's been there. Oprah Winfrey has been involved in Hollywood for a long time. Really long time. Her show has been on since I was a little boy, and I'm 40 years old. And so she's had multiple opportunities to speak out on what she's seen. But she speaks out in convenience. And be wary of people who only speak out in convenience. Because throughout history, throughout the Bible, those who have spoken out and put their own necks on the line are those who are really worth championing your cause. Those people who will speak out with their necks on the line, with their own well-being at risk. And I'm not saying everybody ought to just throw themselves in a lion's den, but those who champion a cause, who really have something to lose, are those who we should really be willing to follow. Because Oprah has nothing to lose. She has nothing to lose. She has nothing to lose in championing this cause, and it's so convenient for her now to do it. Sitting up in her ivory tower. She's been a part of this establishment for years. She's been a leader in this establishment. Some people would say she's more powerful than Harvey Weinstein. And she's documented best friends with the guy. You mean to tell me that she didn't know? She didn't know what was going on? But she is one of the sent to say the right words to make everybody think it's going to be all right. And if you think this stuff is ending just because she said so, you crazy. She's one of the sent to get everybody to believe that it's all going to be all right. And just so you know, men have been this power crazy since the beginning of time. I mean, look at Genghis Khan, who was so power crazy and such an abuser of women that when you trace the DNA for all the people in China, like 1/10 or 1/15 of all the people in China have his DNA. That's how up and down, that's how many women he had. So many women he would just, force himself upon. That even today, a large portion of the percentage of the people in China have his DNA running through their veins. Genghis Khan. So, I mean, men have been this power crazy for years. And people have always risen up. And they've always found a way to revamp the system and continue what they're doing. Now, will things improve? Yes, they will improve. But don't let Oprah fool y'all. Don't let her get up there with her black dress and fool. She's been a part of this establishment for many years. She's up in her Illuminati tower. She's coaching people on what to say. She's manipulating the system. She's manipulating what you hear and what you see. She's feeding us some of these images on her network. She's got Ayanna Van Zandt, or whatever her name is, fixing people's lives with all of this crazy stuff. She's feeding the system. And then let me say this to people who think she's going to run for president. Y'all crazy. Like, for real. Here's my perspective on that. You cannot be the president of the United States, not because you're a woman. No, that has nothing to do with it. But when you're a person, man or woman, and you've never had a family, you've never had a husband or a wife, you've never had children, you've never known what it's like to have a family, a direct husband, wife, children, family, you've never experienced that, then you can't lead a nation. I'm sorry, you just can't. I don't think Donald Trump, I think what disqualifies Donald Trump from leading this country is the fact that he's been married like 3 times. Like, bro, you mean to tell me you trying to work out this nation's problems and you can't even stick to a marriage? You can't even have some hardships and show that you can push through that? One of the reasons why men have always brought their wives and their families out in their campaigns and when they're running for president in any public office, it's to give the presentation that I can stick to my guns. I can stick with my wife through the ups and downs, through the thick and the thin. This is still my wife. These are my children. It shows the country that, hey, the same things you're going through, I've gone through. I've had to go through. I'm going through them right now. And when you've been married 2 or 3 times and your new wife is around the same age as your daughter, as your oldest daughter, it doesn't give the presentation that you know how to stick it through, that you know how to tough it out, that you know how to make it in spite of, that you know how to make it in spite of, situations and ups and downs and arguments. It tells us that as soon as a problem comes, you'll bail. And we see the kind of president we have. As soon as somebody lifts an eyebrow or has anything to say, he takes right to Twitter and blast off. No wonder you've been married 3 times. As soon as somebody disagree with you, they done. They're out of here. You get in the office and firing people as soon as they disagree with you. You showed us that in your marital life. You showed us you were that guy before you ever got in the office by being married for the third time. You showed us that you're the guy who can't get along, who can't deal, who can't stick it through, who can't tough it out, who can't take criticism. You showed us that. You can't deal. And so for Oprah, for me, somebody who says that Oprah Winfrey's going for president, I need to know that you could raise a family, raise children, that you're not so selfish that you can't. And you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, it's her decision not to have children. It's her decision not to have a husband. Yeah, it is your decision. But it says an awful lot about you. It says an awful lot about you. It says that I come first and I'll do anything for me. And I'm not saying Oprah hasn't helped people, but how has her help come? What have people had to do to receive her help? How long does she help people and they don't hear from her before she calls up that favor like Don Corleone called up the favors in The Godfather? And so be careful when you let Hollywood celebrities champion your cause that are far removed from it. Be careful when people who don't have anything to do with what's going on and are probably a part of the problem try to tell you that they're helping solve the problem. Be very wary. Be careful when that happens, because a lot of the time, generally, those people are just there to mask over the problem until they find another way to continue the procedure. This thing isn't going to end. Oprah's not going to end it. She's not going to run for president. She's not going to be president. So y'all can get that out of y'all minds. But overall, I mean, if it was coming from a genuine place, it was a good speech, but I just can't trust Oprah. I just can't trust, knowing who she knows and where she's been and the things she's been a part of. I just can't trust her. So that's just me. Tell me what you think. You think the speech was all right? Think she's full of it? Put it in the comment section. Don't forget to follow me at Al Prince II on YouTube. Peace.